So what I've done here, I've started with my rectangle or my square. I added a vanishing point. We're going to draw our 1 point perspective box using our vanishing point. I'll line up the top corner of the box with the vanishing point. Draw my line. Line up the bottom corner with the vanishing point. Draw my line. Line up this other bottom corner. Draw my line. Then I'm ready to make the sides of the box. What you want to remember is to keep your lines, your vertical lines, completely vertical. Make them parallel to the sides of the box. The bottom of your box you want to keep parallel with the bottom of the face of the cube. We want to line it up with this corner. Then I can erase my extra lines. And of course I drew very lightly so they erase beautifully. But on camera I had to do it really dark. Okay. Sure, still see. Okay. Next thing you want to do, you want to divide up your box into an odd number of spaces, so an even number of marks. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, it's an odd number of lines. Okay. I'm going to draw straight lines down the face of my box. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is the same thing on the side of my box. Keeping my lines parallel. Okay, now I'm going to use these marks, as a guide for doing the sides of my box. So I'm going to line up this mark with my vanishing point and draw a straight line down. I'm going to take this mark, line it up with my vanishing point, draw a line. This mark and this mark. Next thing I'm going to do is the bottom. Take this mark, line it up with my vanishing point, draw a line. This mark, vanishing point, draw a line. Okay, last thing you have to do is to make the grid on the sides and the bottom of the box. So I want to divide this up into an odd number of spaces, but I want the spaces to gradually get smaller as they go back, because it makes it look like your box is going back in space. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They get smaller. These, I'm going to make sure they are parallel to my vertical lines. Draw my line straight down. Okay, and the bottom ones I will connect with these vertical lines right here. Keeping my lines parallel. Okay, then you're going to color every other one. And it should work out nice and even because you have an odd number of shapes. Okay, next 1 point perspective. We start with the cube with our vanishing point in the middle. Now this one gets a little tricky, so stay with me. First thing we're going to do is draw an X through our box, very lightly. Go over that so y'all can see it. Okay. Next thing we're gonna do, I like to start by doing my squares, my, what's the word? No, can't think of it. Concentric. When you have concentric circles, we're gonna do concentric squares, if I can talk. Okay, first thing you wanna do is draw your back wall if this were a room. So I'm going to connect, making sure my corners match up with the X, making sure my lines are parallel to the sides and top of the box. Nice and even. Okay, then I'm going to keep going with these boxes, adding more and more and more. Now with this, I want to have smaller boxes towards the center. I want to keep my lines equidistant from the box before. Okay, so all of my corners are matching up with this X. Then as I go outward, I can make my boxes farther and farther apart. Why? Because it gives the illusion that your box is going back in space. Oops. Little hand spasm. Okay. I'm gonna draw one more. Okay, next thing you're gonna do, and this is just like the video that we watched. If I were doing this on my project, I might add another box, but I'm kind of tired of drawing boxes. So what you want to do is divide this up into an odd number of sections. Once again, I'm just gonna do a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. I'm gonna do that on all my sides. Here's a little trick. You can just take your ruler, line it up, and make your marks. Because 2 points make a straight line. If you learn that in geometry, that's the only thing I remember from geometry. Okay, I'll make my lines over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Line up my ruler. Okay, now I'm going to take each of these marks and line them up with my vanishing point. I like to stop when I get to that back wall, just like we did with our tile ceilings that we drew. Oops, that's a little off. I'm going to do that all the way around. I'm going to erase the back. I don't need that vanishing point. Okay. Now something else I like to do, you can do a couple of different things. You can color this all black if you want to. You can line up these marks and make a grid in the back. Oops. You could, is there anything else that you would do differently? Okay. Let's see, how are these lining up? So I would use a ruler, but I'm just going to do this quickly to show you. You just match up all of your lines that you had before. Then you will color every other one with your Sharpie. You are on your way.